Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel, bro. Living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another lesson through the Spirit. This is from Arrows of Indignation 144. I was just looking at this video. It's roughly like 7 minutes, and it says signs of the time people are fed up. And it's pretty much it's like he could be like a Nigerian jig, and he was going into the whole scenario how this Brian Thompson character was a so-called, I don't know why they call it assassin. I guess because he was such a high-profile character. Basically, he was assassinated, which, in my opinion, he ain't shit. Fuck him. He's just part of the wicked. But people are getting fed up with this system, all right, because, people are being done unfairly. And you have an exceptional amount of Edomites that's getting ready to crash out against their own people because they feel like they've been left out of the American dream, okay? And you have the small hats to thank for that. But anyway, this is like a 7-minute video. So I'm going to play it and interject in between. But I saw a couple of clips on this guy's murder. And I was reading the comments, and people were really not sorrowful for what happened, man. Okay, people are like, you know what, so be it. How many people have they killed in the healthcare system? How many people have they deprived of a way of living? So people are like, man, they don't care no more. People, they don't give a shit. They don't care what happened to these government officials, because I remember they did a survey back in 2023, and they said that I believe it was almost over 50% of the people stating that they were willing to have an insurrection on their society if push comes to shove, man. And so people are in that mindset of feel like of taking back of what's theirs, man. But the good thing is that it's all scripture, is all prophetic, and the scriptures goes into a time of people rising up against these governments, man. Okay, it tells us that in 2 Andrews, the 15th chapter, that they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the power of their actions to stand in their own course. So they're not going to care about jail time. They're not going to care about being fined. They're not going to care about the consequences that come with it, because there's going to be a spirit on people to get even with all the injustices that's being done in the world. And really, it goes back into Amalek, man. Okay, because Amalek has totally deprived this world of their rights, man. Because the average person has some type of right to live and some type of right to sustain family and to enjoy the earth. But yet, Amalek has taken advantage of the people, and, he's totally just put them in hardship, man. And people are like, fuck this, But this is just signs of the times. And, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he's making his move, in 2025 will be a hell of a year, in my opinion. Me personally, I just believe this is just a warning to of things to come, because a lot of high profile people are getting ready to be taken out, whether it be by civilians or some type of CIA operation or FBI, MI6, whatever. Either way it go, they're going to create scenarios that's going to get a rise out of the people. And then when the people rise up against the system, then that's when they would enact martial law. All right. But hey, man, you state's attorneys, you child support lawyers, man, or you child support judges, you tax people, people that run these bureaucracies, you health providers, man, you doctors, lawyers, judges, whatever, man, people, hey, let this be the telltale sign, man, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is putting a spirit on people to crash the fuck out, man. All right, and let alone you baby mamas. Keisha just for the Keisha, she's gonna get caught up in the midst of all this shit, because out of everybody, that black woman is on pretty much hit list #1. Okay, she has a lot of blood on her hands for breaking up families, taking children against the father's will, throwing men in jail, taking their money every month unjustly in these systems. People just to the point they're like, okay, if nothing changes within this next administration quickly, then hey, you better believe that somebody's gonna pay you a visit. All right, so I'm going to play this video. Matter of fact, I'm going to get one preset real quick, and we're going to play the video. So let me get this in the book of Proverbs 29, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So ask yourself, Are the people in rejoicing mode, or are they in mourning mode? Okay, because when you look at the average person, and let's focus on our people, the Israelites, okay, because we don't care about the other nations, man. All right, it ain't our fault that you're not eating off your society. Okay, there shouldn't be one poor Edomite, but you got to blame Amalek for that. Okay, blame him. That's the problem. But look at Jake. You think Jake is happy? No, Jake is in a state of depravity. Jake is in a state of mourning. Jake is in a state of that mind is deprived of life, man. All right, because only thing Jake knows is oppression. And yeah, Jake is wicked. Of course, Jake is wicked as all hell. But then you got those Jakes out here that's trying to, make something of themselves, so to speak, or just live a regular life without the oppression. And yet Jake can't even get a break. Like by default, you enter into higher tax brackets. You're paying more money on your dollar. Okay, when you automatically get a job, a good job, you're paid the bare minimum of what that position offer. Like let's just say if a position offers between $30 an hour and $42 an hour, they're gonna start Jake in at the bottom. And when you get your annual raises, you may get like a couple of cents bump up, but they will never start you at the top. And then they give you that BS excuse like, well, you got to have a degree, this and this and that. Well, if I had to have a degree, then why the hell y'all hire me in this position in the first damn place if I don't have a degree, you see? So this is the games they play with Jake. But yet these women can make all types of money. They get the higher positions, they get the higher pay just to create crash out culture, man. Because no woman's supposed to get more money. No woman should get more paid than a man, all right? Because men, we're the workers, we're the providers. We keep shit in order. Okay, women are the ones that's supposed to be nurturing and comforting and take care of the home and, make sure that there's a cozy habitat to come home to. But instead, they're in the workforce making money and calling shots and totally running the ship off course, man. And this is the result of it. Okay, so it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, all right? And Esau, he's bearing rule right now. People are in mourning. Okay, people ain't like, prime example, and I'm going to get to the video. Do you know that the IRS sent me a tax bill from 2018 that I already paid, saying that I owe? Because I'm just, and then they gave me a deadline. They said by October 31st, 2024, you have to have this little debt paid off. So I called them, man, because, I don't remember 2018, man. I got too much other stuff going on to be focused on what happened in 2018, right? So I was getting ready to pay it, and the spirit like, nah, don't do that. Spirit like, look, this is what you do. Call them, okay? And show you how much of a hindrance Satan tries to be to our progress, because it takes forever to get the agent, because they don't really want you to speak to an agent, because they want you to get fed up with the prompts and, you have to go through this and that to the point you're like, you know what, I'll just pay the shit and be done with it. But the spirit like, nah, man, just be patient. Because I pray for more patience. And when you beware, when you pray for things, the Lord gonna give you that. He said, okay, you want to pray for patience? Okay, let me go ahead and throw this at you real quick. See how you handle it. You know what I'm saying? But there's always a remedy for these things too, if you stay faithful to the spirit. But I finally get through to somebody, and it was an older Jake woman, and I was on the phone with her probably, I want to say like damn near 40 minutes, because I was trying to get information on 2018. I was because I forget, like when it comes to stuff like that, my mind just don't hold on to it, because it's too much to process, man. It just, when it comes to that shit, it just, my mind just kind of goes into fail-safe mode, because there's so much to deal with. And, we already have a lot on our plate anyway, so I'm looking like, okay, what's this? So I'm asking her to break down this 2019, 2020. And she said exactly what I thought she was going to say. She said, well, you don't owe from 2018. And I said, well, why did they send me a letter out? She says, well, because the computer sent it out. I'm like, well, out of all this money y'all stealing from people, y'all should have better software, right? And then it was to the point that she was like, well, you don't owe that. You don't owe that. You've already paid that off. You paid that off in your 2019 return. And I remember like, okay, I did. Okay, because I know I had to amend one return one year, because when COVID hit back in 2020, they everybody in my job at the time went to what they call work share leave, which is basically an unemployment program while you're still working. It was basically extra incentive on top of what you already made, which was pretty sweet. I made a lot of money that, well, I ain't gonna say a whole lot of money, but you know, it was extra money, you know, to the point that I didn't really have to struggle so much during the time of the ordeal, you know. And we were supposed to pay taxes on it, but I didn't end up filing that. So I was trying to amend it to fix it, but they never said anything about it. So fast forward short, she like, well, you don't owe for that year. And, you know, she was patient. You know, she did exactly what she was supposed to do. And, you know, we got it squared away. But it just shit like that, man. Okay, they sending you out these bootleg notices and, you know, trying to summon you to court. It's just a shit show. And people are tired of it, man. Okay, and this is why when you go down to like the IRS buildings, this is why they have all that security down there, man, because they know that people are getting fed up with it. And my thing is, if you were doing right to people and you wasn't oppressing people, you wouldn't have to worry about nobody coming to kill your ass, man. You know what I mean? That's a telltale. That's the problem solver. Okay, we'll do right by people, but we understand that this is not a righteous. This is a wicked kingdom, man. Okay, full by wicked ass people. All right, let's get Book of Job real quick, and I'm gonna go to the video, Salakia, man. But this is the Book of Job 9 and 24. It says here, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? All right, and we understand that wicked is talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, the self-appointed white man, you Edomites, man. Okay, you're the fucking problem of the earth, and your ass needs to be exterminated like the fucking vermin you are. And the Lord is gonna see to it, because World War III, it don't look like that peace talks with Russia and China and America is going too well. So, peace and safety, sudden destruction. So if Trump gets in office, we believe he's gonna push the mark of the beast, and we believe that he's gonna send the troops to war, because we know that Trump despises Iran. All right, so there go the start of World War III right there. But anyway, let's play the video and get a couple more precepts, and that'll be it. So, Salakia, here we go.
Thank you. Good evening, and we begin tonight here with the urgent manhunt in New York City right now after that brazen murder in Midtown Manhattan. A CEO murdered outside the Hilton Hotel. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, a 50-year-old husband and father of two, gunned down. Police calling it premeditated, pre-planned. The gunman, they say, was waiting. The chilling images here tonight, police studying this surveillance video now, showing the victim, Brian Thompson. This is around 6:45 this morning. The gunman shooting from behind, multiple shots. His weapon...
And pay attention to this. Look how proud this dude was, man. Okay, look how proud this nigga was. He literally walking around with no bodyguards. He just knew he couldn't be touched. But this dude was waiting on him. And me personally, I think this was a hit. I think this was from somebody up top. This had to come from Esau. Like, I don't think no regular person did this, because, I mean, as pissed off as the average person is, they're not, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, who knows? But the average person is still too scared of the repercussions of doing shit like this. So this probably was somebody from his own organization, or, you know, Esau, or probably a rival insurance company. Who knows? Probably a CIA. But the nigga escaped on a bike and got away. Like, give me a break. You know, if that was a Jake that did this, they would have caught that man within the next hour and executed him, man. So I'm not buying this shit. But either way it go, justice, Yahweh Shem Shai brought judgment, man. Because this man has destroyed a lot of people's lives when it comes to this healthcare shit, which is another fucking ripoff. Excuse my language. I'm just getting real. It's getting real. You know, I'm getting real aggravated now. I'm thinking about it all. Because how long we got to suffer being under these people, man? All right. And we ain't asking the Most High to fix this place. We don't care for it. We asking for the Most High to finally get rid of it. Okay. And with extreme prejudice and for fucking good, man. I'm tired of waking up in the morning knowing that I got a low-life degenerate ruling over us, dictating on what we and how we should move, putting a bunch of females over men. Like, nobody want to live in a world like that, man. The Israelite man's supposed to call the shots and rule the world in righteousness.
Appearing to have a silencer. Police say the suspect then ran through an alley, then got on a bike and rode into New York Central Park, escaping. Tonight, authorities are now asking for the public's help, sharing these images of the masked suspect wearing a hooded jacket and a gray backpack. His face partially seen in this image right here, a reward of up to $10,000 now. The manhunt at this hour, and what we've now learned about the victim, the CEO and father of 2 boys.
I just wanted to come on here and talk about the head CEO of the healthcare aid, whatever it is, the health providers, right? Him getting assassinated, right? And it's definitely showing the signs of the time where you had a Rothschild that basically burned in his own home. And then this guy now getting taken out. It's definitely showing that people, the common man, is fed up and is now starting to take action.
Absolutely, in that scripture. Okay, matter of fact, let's get this. Proverbs 11, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, when it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, right? And the city is not rejoicing. Okay, this world needs a new rulership. It says, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. Yeah, and that shouting could be for joy. Okay, you know, because with the simple fact, you know, people are tired of being oppressed. Even the heathen, after they serve their slavery, they're going to be in some form of, how can I say, in some form of merry. Okay, they're going to be merry-hearted in some cases once they're released from their captivity. But they first 1,000 years in slavery is going to be just hell for these people. All you nations are going to catch it. Okay, but the good news for you nations is that there will come a day that you will be released from your prison, and the so-called white man, the Edomites, he's going to be totally done away with. Okay, so that's the good news. Y'all ain't going to face a unmerciful end. Though y'all going to catch hell in slavery, but y'all going to have a out date, unlike this damn devil, man. It says, by the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. That's right, man. And that's the reason why this city and the cities are all out of whack. Okay, you can't even agree on small matters in this place. They can't even agree on what a man and a woman is, bro. Like, that's sad. Okay, and that shows you that that's a society that's getting ready to fall into ruin. And the subjects of this place, they're gonna fall right along with it, because the average person, they're for this place, man. Especially Keisha. Okay, the only person that really upholds this place is Keisha and Esau. You know, and that's just really what it is. 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to start at verses 16. It says, for there should be sedition among men, invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to care about no law enforcement. Okay, it was to the point, I think back in the 70s or something, the 80s, I believe it was one dude that went head up with LA. It was 2 dudes that went head up with LAPD, 70 officers, and damn it, put them all down. Okay, so how you damn near take out a third of a police department? Well, I won't say a third, but 70 officers is not a lot compared to the LAPD, but that's still a quite number of people to put down for just 2 men. So it's easy to understand why the Lord said that when the men of the Lord get raised up, it says that how about one of you should put 100 to fight and 5 of you should put 10,000 to fight, roughly paraphrasing it. I think it goes something like that, Leviticus 26. We should put 1,000 to flight. So 2 men and just in a shootout can put down 70 men. Just imagine what a man in the Lord can do with power. Okay, you can literally put a whole city to flight. And those times are coming, man. All right, the Lord is gonna raise us up. How much more in this captivity, man? When we need the power, we need fucking justice here, bro. Okay, we need power. We need to be able. The Lord gonna have to flex on his side, man, and he's gonna do his man. He's gonna use his men to do it. Okay, the Lord. I'm very confident that when this shit really go down, the Lord is gonna raise up his men to be a beacon and a standard of light to his and hope to the 1/3 of his people, man, the elect. Okay, because you have the 144 and you have the 1/3, which is all the elect, but there's classes of the elect, man. Okay, and those women, you know, that consist of the 1/3, you know, those brothers, the elder brothers, whoever comes into believing this truth, who's not prophets, hey, they gonna need a hedge of protection around them. Okay, Isaiah 32. So we gonna be those men, man, and I believe that we gonna get that spiritual power very soon. All right, and you brothers, man, you gotta believe that. Miracles are coming back, all right? We're going to get that power, man, on this side, okay? We getting it on this side. Now, the difference between getting it on this side and the next side is that you could still be subjected to mortal decay on this side because, I mean, you can still die, okay? But it's unlikely with spiritual power that will be your fate, Put it to you that way. But we're still gonna be in mortal bodies. But when we get those superhuman bodies, that's when we're gonna be able to literally gonna be super saiyans, man. Okay, that will be levels to the power. Do I believe we would get that type of ability on the side? Of course, man. But it's levels to it. Okay, I don't think we're gonna be Saiyan level 10,000 on this side, but we gonna have enough to do what we gotta do, man. It's gonna be enough to shake people up and be like, oh shit, let us not even fuck with these, man, because they mean business, man. And when the Lord say go, hey, don't tell me twice. It is, hey, when the Lord says go, hey, I'm not questioning it. It is what it is. You either get the fuck out the way or you're gonna get steamrolled right over. That's been in my spirit the last 13 and a half. How long I've been in the truth? I've been in the truth since 2011. It's 2014. I mean, 2024 right now. That's roughly, what, 13 and a half years almost, something like that. My short time I've been in the truth. That's all I've been meditating. My scripture say thy heart should meditate terror on thy enemies, man. You know, injustice. You know, so, hey, that's the spirit that the men of the Lord are going to be raised up in. You know, and you 2/3, hey, guess what? You're going to get you're going to get steamrolled over too. Okay, Lord going to pay all you niggas a visit real soon. And I believe that. But it says, yep, it says, not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their acts shall stand in their power. So people ain't going to give a shit no more. All right, you see, they just popped this dude's top in broad daylight. Well, 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it looked pretty dark out, but still, people was up going to work. People at coffee shops, they out walking the streets, walking their dogs. I mean, that's just what it is, man. All right.
You understand? And I'm not going to say anything negative about what has happened because I feel like it's the most positive thing. The most positive thing that could have happened in our society. They're okay with robbing people. They're okay with treating us average man, average woman, average people like dirt. Taking even what little we have away from us and giving us nothing. That goes for government, that goes for politicians, that goes for corporations that love to rob the crap out of the people and give back nothing. You can't go to them and beg them and ask them, please. So let me tell you something. I think a lot of them are now realizing that there's an uprising on the way. A revolution is basically on the way. And I cannot speak anything negative about it. You know why I'm not going to speak anything negative about it? Because people are fed up with how we're living right now. People are fed up with living hand to mouth. People are fed up with the officials that you put in place to take care of you. But instead of taking care of you, they take advantage of you. And they put laws and policies in place to basically destroy your life over and over and over. Sevenfold. Sevenfold they're destroying your lives. To basically destroy your life over and over and over. Sevenfold. Sevenfold they're destroying your lives. And then turn around every freaking 4 years. They need an election. They need you to elect them to do what they should have done years ago. And this is not just relegated to America alone. This is relegated to the world. Worldwide, people are fed up with government and corporations and rules, laws, and policies that do not seem to benefit people holistically. I don't feel 1 ounce of sympathy for that man, and if he has a family, nor for his family. Not 1 ounce of it. And no.
And bro, look, this is the spirit people are in, man. People like, fuck y'all. You know? I remember years ago when I was at home in Chicago, and I think I went to court for a freaking ticket. Do you know how much money I sat there in the first 10 minutes of this court, which they're not even really courts, man. Okay? Those are not courts at all. Those are, I sat there and I want to say within the first 15 minutes, these motherfuckers have made damn near $10,000 just off finding people off citations, man. And when you go to the Chicago Department of Revenue website, you got people $67,000 in debt off parking tickets, speeding tickets, red light tickets. You know, then they'll come and put a boot on your shit. You had what was it called? You had a couple of females out there. They called themselves like the boot queens or some shit. They had the keys to get people's boots off of their cars, and they'll charge you like $50 to do so. And they will wear these masks, and they was doing a service for the city because, I mean, that's oppression. How the hell you gonna restrict somebody's ability to drive because they didn't pay your fucking illegal tickets? Because a summons or a citation is nothing more but them suing you in court. Okay, you got the right to object to lawsuit, man. Same thing with the child support shit, man. That shit is illegal as hell. They can't get you for child. That shit is fraud. You know, but I've seen them go in there and really rip men and really destroy men's lives, all because some low-life demon that wants to destroy the man because she's bitter goes down there and put this niggas on child support, and then all of a sudden you come in there, you talk to the state's attorney, they already got your money and all this other shit. They already got how much you make a month. Like, how the hell you get my information? And then the crazy part about it is they share it with the fucking woman. Social Security, they're doing all types of illegal shit in there. And this bitch got the one up on you because she knows all your information. She knows where you stay, how much you make, your Social Security number. But yet you think you have her information? Fuck no. And then they use her to trap you up so they can get incentivized from the federal government. And then before you know it, your life is ruined while she gets to go out here and make more babies and be wicked and while feasting off your fucking dollar to feed a bunch of snot-nosed kids from other niggas. You see, and people are getting to the point, man, they crashing the fuck out, man, all right? People, they don't care anymore. People are fed up, man.
Nobody should feel an ounce of sympathy. Let his family grieve for him. Let his family cry for him. Let his family bury him. Because they have the billions and the billions of dollars to do it. We don't have the billions of dollars to grieve or cry or mourn for no one at this point in time. Let them do it by themselves. Scripture says the rich and the poor have the same faith, which is the grave. You understand what I'm saying? So let me tell you something. You're going to see more and more of this starting to happen. This is my prediction. You're going to start seeing more and more of this starting to happen. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to see more and more of this starting to happen. Government officials, you're going to start seeing some of this happening to government officials. I can guarantee you this. You're going to start seeing it happen to government officials. At the rate that I'm seeing, even people who are having regret vote. I'm seeing so many people having regret vote where DJT is concerned right now. Because they're not realizing that the great white hope that they thought was coming to save them is coming to put them in more poverty and deeper poverty. Even more poverty are the same amount of poverty that they had black people in for many, many years. This is nothing new to black people. Poverty isn't anything new to black people. It's not. Get used to it. You can't climb out of it, and the more you climb out, somebody dig the hole deeper and throw your ass right back into poverty. You work hard. No, we're going to say the same thing to you guys that you've been saying to black people. Get a job, stop stealing, stop doing this. Why you don't pull yourself up by your bootstraps? If you weren't on this corner, this wouldn't have happened to you, because that's exactly what's going to come next for you people. That's exactly what is going to be coming next for you people. So take this as a note. What happened to that man is just a taste of the anger within the people. You understand? People are going to start, trust me. I told you. It's gonna start happening. I said it years ago, and I said at the rate that we're going right now, it's gonna start happening again. People are gonna start taking out their officials. They're gonna start taking out these big corporation bosses. The common man is going to start doing it. They won't have to start hiring no blasted assassin to do it anymore. They don't have to hire any more blasted assassins because you have people who are just fed up with their lives, the quality of their lives being robbed right from underneath them. So you still have people who are sitting pretty thinking that they're untouchable. The citizens of the world are going to start showing you people that you're not untouchable anymore. Anyway, people, enough love and respect.
And with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Lord's will, you are edified to the next lesson. Shalom.